Hey everybody, Sam Kavaris in the Nimnicht Chevrolet Sports Update. It's a new week, but the same problems for the Jaguars and the same questions for Gus Bradley. And I can tell you that asking the same questions is as uncomfortable and awkward as answering them. But Bradley continues to try to answer them honestly. And this week, he's asked some very pointed questions about coverage and the kind of lapses that are happening. And he gave very frank and very straightforward answers. Now, you might not agree with those answers, but you got to say, well, this is his philosophy. If the ownership and the management doesn't agree with it, that's when they'll change there. And while I'm not 100% convinced that they're going to change coaches, certainly that would be where everything's pointed at this point toward the end of the year and probably right after the regular season. The Jaguars face the Broncos this week and can learn a lot, I think, from the Broncos and the professionalism and the precision that they bring to the game each week, which has made them a sustainable kind of winning franchise. Now, when you think of the Broncos, you think of a team that consistently is kind of in the division chase. Well, that's where Shad Khan wants the Jaguars to be. So how Pat Bowlen has built that and now John Elway has continued that is what Shad Khan wants to do with the Jaguars, to get them on that kind of footing where they consistently look like they are a team that is either on the verge and one or two players away, and sometimes if they have excellent years they jump up and they compete and perhaps win the Super Bowl. It's still a long dream, obviously, for the Jaguars, but it is nonetheless a good kind of model to look at when they're thinking about what they want this team to look like in the coming years. That's certainly what Shad Khan wants it to look like. Jim McElwain got around to denying that he'd be interested in the Oregon job, saying, hey, this is the University of Florida, and we got a lot of good things going here. He attributed his name being bandied about to some recruiting tactics by people trying to recruit against Florida. But certainly his name being thrown about is still good for him because it means people think he's relevant in the coaching scene after 2 years at Florida, that being a West Coast guy, played there, has coached out there, that he would be a good candidate for Oregon. He probably would be. But Florida, no doubt, at this point will do what they can to keep him, which doesn't have to be much based on the contract that he signed just a couple of years ago. I'm Sam Kavaris, and that's the Nimnicht Chevrolet Sports Update.